Great. Ireland, Audrey. Yes, here. Italy, Santo.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. Yes, yes. Sorry for that. Okay, wonderful. Now I go to the black ones. Beate from Austria. I'm from Belgium.
Down here.
Yes, Beate, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I'm from Belgium.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Josip from Croatia.
Hello everyone, thank you. Good afternoon everybody.
Hello, Josip. Veronica from Czech Republic.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
Hello. Dia from Denmark.
Hello, everybody.
Black Britain is Tordis from Germany.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. Okay, good. Okay, so I move on to the next one. From Italy, also David Lazari with us.
Online.
Online, yes, so we will see. And from Lithuania, Ramonda. From Malta, Gail.
Good afternoon everybody.
Good afternoon. From Norway, Hakon. From Poland, Beate. Not yet. From Spain, Manuel. He's there, yes, I've seen him. Okay. And Sylvia. And Rosa. Okay. From Sweden, Christina.
Yes, hello, everyone.
Hello, and Ulrika. Tomorrow. Okay, that's tomorrow, yes. From Turkey, it's Cem. And Asli? Not yet, seems to be. Valeria from Ukraine? Not yet. She wanted to dial in later. And Connie will join us later. Now I'm with the observers. And we have Veronica from the students, EFPA.
Hi everyone.
Hello, here in the room. And Carl from Gaming will join us tomorrow. Magda? That's for tomorrow. What is for tomorrow is for tomorrow. Okay. And night, so I don't ask for night, right? Okay. Okay, it's for tomorrow. Thank you very much. Those are the ones who have registered for our meeting, and we are here as well. Me, I'm Chris, President of EFPA. And the next one is Nicola.
Hello, Nicola Gale, Vice President. Nice to see everybody.
Ole Tunnel, Vice President. Very good to see you. Both those I can see here in the room, and I would love to see the rest of you too. So very welcome.
Katarina.
Nice. Nice to see you. Caterina Giacomo from Italy.
Oh, that's we already learned. Katarina.
Hello, everyone.
And John Francis.
Hello everyone, John Francis, leader of EFPA's Board of Directors and Liaison for Mental Health. Great to see you all.
And we have Robertus.
Hello, Robertus from Nice. Very nice to meet you all.
And then our head office with us. And we start with Sabine.
Hello everybody, welcome to Napoli.
Very good. Julie.
Hello.
Ivana. And Ruth.
Hello.
Hello. A warm welcome to you all. It's wonderful to have you here or to be connected with you via the internet. Now, our first important task is to look on the minutes and introduction of the president. Okay. It's more important than minutes. Okay. We will do that later. I see minutes, Christoph Steinebach, but we said you will do it again. No? No? Okay. Dear colleague, let's have a look on the minutes. Well.
They're doing minutes, Christoph. Doesn't mean reading the act. It means.
Ah, this
yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay. So again, we learned a lot about you see, we are always working. You have seen there are minutes on Dropbox. You already had the chance to give feedback on that, and I just want to ask if today there are still, in addition, any changes to be brought forward so that we can agree on the minutes. So, page 1 and 2, and we move on. 2, 3, and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Okay, and we move on. There is a delay. Oh, 5 to 5. Okay. Okay.
Can I speak from here?
Now, there are no other comments or changes to the minutes, so we can agree on them and confirm them. So thank you very much for this, and of course a special thanks also to Nicola, who is working on this. Yes. So, okay, and now we move on, and it's about the European semester in Italy, including lectures. Now we have to agree on how to do the
Can I speak from here?
presentation. Yes, if you like to.
Okay. Good afternoon, dear colleagues in Naples, in Italy. Naples is in Italy.
Yes.
The Italian semester, the second of 2023, held in Italy, was focused on the theme of psychological science and profession for increasing health in society. I will start with the background of this issue, showing briefly, I believe, that the history of psychology in Italy, in the history of psychology in Italy, the link between scientific research and professional applications was very solid, very strong from the beginning. I don't present Italy, or not, for its archaeological, classical, and naturalistic beauties. We are in a place like Naples, reassuming all these beauties. Okay, Caterina? It is true. And you can enjoy them directly. The history of psychology in Italy started 1 century and 3 years ago. Yeah, the next slide. Okay. But the first trace of the link between scientific research and social applications goes back to the early 20th century. The first psychology journal in Italy, named Rivista di Psicologia, before taking on this name in 1912, was founded in 1905 by Giulio Cesare Ferrari. Ferrari was not the owner of the cars. As Journal of Psychology applied to pedagogy and psychopathology. Among the topics covered by the articles in this journal were work psychology and psychotechnics and other applicative aspects of psychological knowledge, educational, psychiatric, criminological, and institutional. Ferrari himself was a member of the Royal Commission of the Juvenile Code from 1910, and in 1921 a member of the Commission to draw up the Italian Criminal Code. Since its origins, Italian psychology has placed its science at the service of social needs. Agostino Gemelli, founder of the Catholic University of Milan, and defender of psychology from the strong criticism by idealism and fascism, said that research to be valid must deal with the main problems of the society. For example, psychology in air forces, 1930, but also the psychology of the worker in modern industry and the personality of the criminal and the gay, personal selection and vocational violence. In some period in Rome, Sante De Santis, professor of experimental psychology, was involved in application for the assistance and recovery of poor and mentally disabled persons in non-institutional environments such as kindergarten. And he dedicated the entire second volume of his Manual of Experimental Psychology in 1930 to applied psychology, the whole second volume. In Florence, in the period between the two world wars, the experimental psychology laboratory founded by Desarlo studied the possibility of using psychological data for professional orientation and also for military psychology. After the war in Sicily, my country, psychophysiology laboratory founded in Catania by Professor Angelo Majorana, who was my teacher. The council of the Majorana, well-known physic, experimented tools for scholastic professional orientation and techniques for the diagnosis and the rehabilitation of disability and psychopathology. Several other psychology laboratories were scattered across the Italian regions, from Turin to Bari, from Padua to Naples. It is interesting to note that the confluence in psychological science of scholars from medical training and others from philosophy, the two main sources of psychology in Italy, this confluence takes place above all in the applicative dimension. Together with reaction times, worker fatigue was studied by Angelo Mosso in Turin. Studies on perceptual illusions and hypnosis and forensic psychology were associated by Vittorio Benussi. Benussi was coming from the Graz School, Italian, but came from the Austria, founder of the Padua Experimental Laboratory. On sensory phenomena and on psychotechnics and professional orientation, Fabio Metelli in Padua, Alberto Maxi in Bari. On visual perception and psychoanalysis by Cesare Musatti in Milan. Till the recent studies on the psychological impact of information technologies, for example by Giuseppe Riva, who obtained the Aristotle Prize by EFTA this year. The relationship between the experimental and applied dimensions was a central theme within the oldest Society of Psychologists, founded in 1910 as the Italian Society of Psychology, in SIP, which included a scientific council composed of academic members and a professional council reserved for professional members. In 1992, the Italian Association of Psychology was established, which, while privileging the academic component, according to the Article 2 of the Statute, fosters, also in collaboration with similar organizations and associations, links between psychological research and the social and productive reality. This is the main article of our Association of Psychology. The history of psychology, which has been briefly revealed in the speech, shows how psychology in Italy has had the aim of contributing to the future of culture and society since its beginning. The international dimension of this approach is shown by the strict relationships with the European and worldwide colleagues and associations, beginning from the International Congress held in Rome in 1905, with the participation of many European and also American eminent psychologists. Among these are Fred Binet, who presented his intelligent test. We are in 1905. And the Italian Sante De Santis, I quoted already, shown in the same session his test for abnormal children. Again, in Rome was held the EFPA Congress in 1999, and another EFPA Congress was in Milan in 2015. Till the EFPA semester in Italy this year, with the participation of several board and standing committees, and with the cooperation of other international associations, for example, the International Society for the Study of Behavioral Development, in the meeting held in Catholic University in Milan. I remember that Italy participates in the EFPA through the INPA, Italian Network of Psychological. Next slide. Okay, thank you. The Italian Network of Psychologists Associations, which includes the National Order of Psychologists, the Italian Association of Psychology, the AIP, and the Association of Psychologists Union, with its formation agency, form AUPI. AUPI is the level. Overall, associated psychologists are more than 125,000. Very much. Very high number. INPA, the Italian network, was founded in 1992 to develop a common reference framework for psychologists' academic and professional training according to the European qualification standards. To the same, since 2005, it has promoted the diffusion of the EuroPsy certification in Italy. The members of the executive committee of INPA, our Italian network, are indicated by the respective associations, each of which designates 2 members who hold office for 4 years. In 2022 recurred the 30th anniversary of the foundation both of IPA and INPA. In 2021, the half-century anniversary of the foundation of the first degree courses in psychology. And there are two first degree, 2 in Rome and Padua. Now distributed in all the Italian regions. Now Italy has 53 bachelor degrees, mainly psychological sciences and techniques, bachelor degrees first level, and in 45 universities, and 94 master's level courses in psychology with different levels in 39 universities in Italy. In 2022, the Italian Parliament approved a law that makes the master's degree in psychology, second level, qualifying for professional practice. The Ministry of the University set up a task force with the participation of both professional and university representatives. I was one of these, for the revision and modification of the academic studies in psychology, including professionalizing internships. A very important challenge for the the psychology in Italy. Recently, the Ministry of Education approved an agreement for the structural and stable inclusion of psychologists in schools. Meetings with the Ministry of Health have been organized on the psychological profession within the National Health Service. A very important theme. And on psychological assessment for work suitability. In addition, a code of conduct against harassment and discrimination in the workplace has been formulated and disseminated last year. Psychology was represented. This for me to the last one. Psychology was represented in the National Committee for organizing the plan of recovery and resilience after COVID pandemics, with the support of the European Commission. Elisabetta Camussi, our colleague, professor of social psychology at the University of Milan, participated in this very important committee and received a prize from the President of the Italian Republic, as well as the President of the National Order of Psychologists, David Lazzari, for the work made by Italian psychologists to support population during the period of lockdown due to pandemic. Very useful acknowledgement of our work during the pandemic. Moreover, in 2022, following the COVID psychological effects, the Italian government activated the psychological bonus, that is a financial support for psychological therapies. Request for this initiative, in which both psychologists and users were very much interested, have been till now more than 300,000 in 1 year. Materials of the themes of war and peaceful coexistence and regarding migration, prepared by scientific societies in the psychological area and emergency psychology association, were disseminated online. Many congresses, meetings and trainings even are organized online and in person by HYPE, National and Regional Orders, and AUFI Forum, the organization for formation of the unions. The associated of the organization composed the IMPA received many benefits in terms of opportunities for long life formation, and through the EMPAP. EMPAP is the organization for the assistance and providence of psychologists during their professional work and after retirement. You can find all detailed information on this and more in the website, starting from IMPA website. In the next slide, there is the link. Okay, these are the initiatives of the meeting. Briefly, I will name Bonifacio, very interesting Bonifacio, in course. La femme et la mère d'une île au monde. Padua, the Congress learning from suffering, fear, and death and dying, of death and dying. Padua, the board assessment in the workshop New Horizons in Psychological Assessment. Bologna, the final meeting, okay, there was for Age Work Project. Milan, the conference with the International Association, Child Wellbeing, Formal and Informal Care, and Educational Context, New Perspectives on Intervention. Rome, the Standard Committee Work Organization. Turin, a meeting in this space, a meeting beyond the genders, intersectionality between theory and practice. Naples, tomorrow, the Standard Committee Community, not tomorrow, Psychology and Social Change for Our Future World, and Rome, the last event, the Standard Committee Education will have a workshop well-being in European school. Okay, the last click, please. Naples, EFA President meeting, we are here. It is a pleasure having and seeing you here, and thanks for your attention. Thank you, Caterina, who organized all this.
Well, actually, thanks a lot, Sandro, thanks a lot, Katerina, for organizing the European semester. It's really impressive how many different events you organize with a very, very high quality in the different parts of Italy. And that's really impressive. And of course, to be here, that's wonderful. And we are looking forward to spending these 2 days, but also, if you are able, the Saturday for the conference. So, thank you very much for your hospitality and friendship. Dear colleagues, we move on to the next point, which are the presentations of our full members. And Sabine took over the task to moderate that. And the challenge, as you know, is always the timing. So this time we said 3 minutes. And Nicola and I will have a look on the watch. We realized, Sabine, that you don't see us. So we will give a signal to John Francis. John Francis might give a signal to Katerina, and Katerina will give you a signal that the time is coming to them. Okay, that's the way we do it. And now, Sabine, we are glad if you guys
welcome to the workplace again. We have also now, we had an enquete of health psychology with 600 participants. And then, is this the only slide? I have another slide, yeah. And we had this conference, as I said, and we had the keynote speaker, our president, and thank you very much for this. And now I think that clinical psychologists and psychology, especially our discipline now, because of, I think, the pandemic now crisis, it's very well seen by the mass media, by the press, and also by the government. That's it. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Beate. This was quite short and very informative. Thank you. Now we go to Albania. Albania is here.
Can I have the microphone?
Oh, yes.
Here. Yes, does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well, we are a small country and we are trying to have some little steps in psychology, because we can right now like big things like conferences and all this stuff we have heard till now. So I'll present you some things we have done during these months. During these 6 months, we have done the state exam for the psychologists. Unfortunately, not all psychologists make it through to pass it. It was like 104 psychologists on the state exam, and then we are trying to specialize our forensic psychologists with trainings, because it's our focus to specialize them, especially the ones who works for the court and for the assessment of the children and the families which go through the divorce process. It's very important in Albania to train them. So during May and June we made some trainings about these psychologists. And then on October 8th, due to the Global Mental Health Day, we had a big activity in Tirana. we share information about mental health with citizens, and then the media was here, the main media of Albania was here, and we put some big green ribbons on the buses, on all the buses lines in Tirana, so it was a thing for the Albanians to focus on the mental health and to turn their eyes on mental health. So it was a good activity. It's the second year we're trying to do some big activity in Tirana about mental health, mental health. So that's all for now, and we are trying to strengthen the role of psychologists in the police, and we are cooperating with the police and with the state police to strengthen the role of psychologists in this area. Well, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I remember your action on the buses because I saw this on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The next one is our colleagues from Belgium.
Hi, yes, thank you. I just first wanted to give a bit of a background on the Belgian Federation of Psychologists. Unlike maybe in certain other countries, we are not an organization or a federation that goes directly to psychologists, but we are a federation of member organizations. So, for example, a federation of organization for clinical psychology, for work psychology, and so on. So the activities that we organize are centered around how to find common ground between the organizations, also on both sides of the country. Apart from the member organizations, we support the work of specific groups that work in this same spirit. So, for example, the Test Commission that brings together a list of valid and reliable tests that can be used in clinical work, school psychology, and so on, that are available in Dutch and in French. And the past year, we also strengthened the collaboration with the expert group of Psychology and Society. So this is a group on both sides of the country that came from working on the topic of Corona. So it's a collaboration of practitioners and academics, and has been very successful in being able to influence policy. So via this group, we were able to be part of an advisory group for policymakers on, for example, what is the mental health impact of certain measures in Corona, what do we need to consider when it's behavior change, how can we make sure that people adhere to preventive measures. And we're really able to show both in the media and to policymakers what is psychology and what can psychology contribute to many of these topics. And so, because this was a successful collaboration, it has now been transformed into Psychology and Society, mainly working on climate change right now, and also moving into topics of migration and mental health. And so for climate change, one of the achievements we've had in the past year is that we have a representative in the Belgian Climate Center now. So this is a group of more exact scientists, but a psychologist is also part of the board, part of the scientific board now, being able to influence public opinion and policy on what is needed to tackle climate change. So we keep looking for topics that cross-cut subdisciplines. One of the other things is that we have a recent change in legislation for clinical psychology. So clinical psychology is not only a recognized title, but a recognized profession now, and requires an additional professional internship. But it also means that is it kind of?
Yeah, you
okay. Just a last mention that this has implications for the other psychological disciplines, and within the Federation we look to how we can harmonize the work between sub-disciplines based on this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much, Anne, for the Belgian contribution. The next one are our Croatian colleagues.
Thank you very much. On this slide, you can see that we are celebrating our jubilees in Croatian Psychology, 7th anniversary of the Croatian Psychological Association, our 3rd annual conference of Croatian psychologists, and 20 years since the passing of the law on psychology in Croatia. So we started with legal professional activity 20 years ago. And this year was very, very successful. So for us, we issued Eurosize certificates for Croatian psychologists for the first time on this annual Croatian Psychology Association conference, and the president of EFPA was our guest, and Christoph shared the first certificates for our psychologists. Our delegates have actively participated in the regular EFPA workshops and activities, including our presence on the Pacific conference in Riunito, and our continuing activities, documents, reports, discussions in media, and resources and information presented at CPA web and Facebook site. That is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josip, for your contribution and your information from Croatia. I saw a lot of pictures on your Facebook post also about the Congress. It was interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Czech Republic. Veronica.
Yes, hello everybody. I will be very short. Here in the Czech Republic, we are now mainly concentrating on creating a proposal for a law about psychological and psychotherapeutical services. This is now our most important task to do. We are also working on more spreading the information about the Eurosize certificate. We are doing online seminars for students of psychology that are in their last year in their master's degree, so they would be aware of the certificate. And then our next big project is the organization of the ICP Congress, on which we are working very hard as well. So maybe some of you will come to Prague next summer. We will be very happy to see you here. And otherwise, our various psychological associations are just organizing national conferences and seminars on various topics, etc. But our main goals are right now is the law and the ICP Congress.
That's it, Veronica?
That's all from me.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Veronica. Our next country is the Danish Psychology Association. And there we have Dea.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for the invitation. I can see that this is my first actual EFPA meeting, and I already misunderstood the task of how to put together a slide, so I kind of mixed two meetings. I'm very sorry, but I will try to give you a short update anyhow. So the Danish Psychological Association, we have only one association in Denmark, counting all, or possibly counting all Danish psychologists, around 10,000 working members and 2,000 student members. So we have students coming out from 4 universities in Denmark, and we just reached 12,000 members this fall, so we are very proud of these numbers. I'm a new chair of the board since June, and right now we spend a lot of energy in our own circles trying to prepare the new working program or the new strategy for the Danish Psychological Association, which we will have our General Assembly in May 2024. And we have conducted a kind of very including process for all members to take part in putting together our strategy. And as it looks now, we will have some main focal points that we will focus on for the next 3 years. One of them is sustainability. How can psychologists and psychology take part in establishing a more sustainable society, both in terms of climate awareness and also, of course, in the mental health or mental health care crisis that we kind of talk about in Denmark as well. So how can we take part in some of the bigger societal problems in the solution of those? Then we have a focus on our mental health care system, where we're working on making psychological treatment part of the core task in the mental health care system. Hereby also meaning establishing more and better jobs for psychologists to take part in the treatment of both children and adolescents and grown-ups with mental health care problems. We also have some bigger tasks. Our government is also focusing on the educational system, how to use educational psychologists and educational psychology in more to support the school system and their policies in this area. And then we also have a strong focus also from the government in how to use, how psychologists can be involved in internet-based services, and how, we as an association is working very much on how to understand what internet-based and services, how that will change the field of psychology and also the working environment and a lot of other ethical issues for psychologists working in different kind of datalogical supported services, you can say. So those are some of the main issues that we're working on right now, and thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, you finished? No, you're not.
Yes, I finished because there's the other part of the slide is for the 6th of December. I'm sorry. I misunderstood it.
Yeah. But it's very informative for us too. Thank you very much. Thank you, Medea. Estonia, there you have Ken.
Hello. So, work?
Yes.
Okay. I think we are one of the smallest societies in EFPA. So, so far we have been doing just voluntary work, except in one area, which is probably, well, so far it's been the most important, so it's mentioned first. We have been giving or awarding the certificates of professional qualification for years already, and includes clinical counseling, sports and schools, psychology, and this is something official. So when a clinical psychologist has the certificate, which includes master's degree, but also supervised practice, then they can work in hospital. And now we have the permission to continue this for another 5 years, so that's one thing. And then we have realized that we actually need to do more in some areas. For example, informing public, the general public, about what to expect from a psychologist, and similar tasks. So, but for that we can't continue for long as voluntary work. So we need some income, and for that we have written a huge proposal. So I hope in a few weeks they will say yes to us, and we can start increasing our influence. And we have been also for quite some time organizing local conferences. The next one, these are in Estonia, but still, you're welcome to come. So the next one will be on physical activity and psychology, and also we will try to attract more of general public. There will be workshops and also. Okay, that's mostly it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken, for also announcing that there is a local conference in Estonia. And you might know also that we publish all the national conferences in the news magazine. So you will find all the national conferences and congresses on the agenda in the news magazine, which went out this week, by the way. Just good to know. Germany and Charlie.
Yeah, hello there. So since I accelerated my speaking time during our last ECM in Belgrade a little bit, I keep it very short. Very short today. So I want to inform you about two events. First of all, the president of the IUCIS, German Gutierrez, who visited us in Berlin because he was at a meeting in Potsdam where Samantha from an initiative of the Templeton Foundation, and then visited us, and we were talking what is going on in Germany, in psychology in Germany, and he told us what is going on in the IUCIS, and he invited us to join an initiative on science diplomacy as well. And we awarded the German Psychology Prize to Ulrich Wagner. The German Psychology Prize is the most important prize in psychology in Germany, and this prize is awarded from the Federation of Psychologists Associations, the German Chamber of Psychotherapists, and the Institute, or the Leibniz Institute of Psychology, the former Center of Psychological Information and Documentation. So Ulrich Wagner was awarded for his research on intergroup conflict and aggression and the contact hypothesis. And I mention this because Ulrich Wagner was also a long-term member in the working groups of EFPA, I think on human rights.
Yes.
Yeah, and we also have the other ongoing project that I presented at large in Belgrade, and if you're interested in, I'm happy to give you more details at the coffee break or by email or face-to-face. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charlie. And what related to Uli Wagner, we also have an article on this in our news magazine.
Yeah, okay.
So you can see all the pictures on the awarding ceremony. The next one is, the slides are from Hungary. Marta?
Yes, I thought it's Greece because...
yeah.
So I'm going to speak about three different topics. One is our biannual National Psychology Congress, and we celebrated the 30th this year in June. And each year we have a kind of focal topic coming from the Hungarian Academy of Sciences Psychological Committee. And this year it was conflict and conflict resolution, because our world is full of conflicts, and the idea was that what has psychology achieved, you see, by now, if we look around. So I was the one who led this discussion, and I invited military experts. What does it mean, a conflict from a military, a conflict resolution from a military expert? An ethologist, a legal expert, organizational psychologist, family therapist, social psychologist, of course, political scientist. So from different disciplines, how we look at conflict, how we interpret conflict, and how we interpret conflict resolution. And it was, I think, really very well attended, because this is a topic that everybody is interested in and hugely important. And otherwise, there were more than 300 presentations, lots of workshops and other activities. It was in the University of Pécs, south of Hungary. The next one that we organized public lectures, which are normally very interesting topics, and this year, in fact, in last month, one was about suicide, and the title was "The Question of Autonomy in Suicide Crisis," and there was a very provocative quotation in the title: "If you want to kill yourself, why don't you want to kill yourself?" from Pessoa. This is a quotation from Pessoa. And I think it's very provocative, and it was given by a psychoanalyst and a psychotherapist. So we have these public lectures which are open to professionals and the public as well. And we have our Hungarian Journal of Psychology, which is in Hungarian, and you would think that it's dying because now everybody wants to publish in English, but it's just the opposite. It is flourishing because it's open access, and we have our newsletter to the membership of the Hungarian Psychological Association, who are practicing psychologists most of the time. And so we put into it a teaser when each volume appears, and we put the open access link right away there to the small summary of each article. And we also say what kind of psychologist can be interested in that type of article. And we have more than 120,000 downloads per year, and this is 4 volumes. And I'm very proud of this because I'm the chief editor of this journal. So this was my innovation, and it works fully, you see. So everybody thought, Marta, you are taking off a job which is kind of because it's in Hungarian. And because of this innovation, it's going like that, you see, so it's kind of skyrocketing. That's what I want to say. So conferences, public lectures, the journal, and we had some others, and then I finished. We had the National Conference of Forensic Psychologists and Psychiatrists. We had the 7th Psychological Counseling Conference during this period, since we have met with each other. And the Disaster Psychology section also had a meeting which also focused on interdisciplinary cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you. And now we are going to panels.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, 180 seconds. I'm here at the Psychological Society of Ireland, and 3 issues I just want to briefly highlight. First is the one of statutory regulation. It's been very problematic. In 2005, the Irish government enacted an act to regulate and register psychologists and other health subject care professionals. 2017, 5-year registration board was put together for psychologists. 5 years later, still nothing's happened. More recently, an expert advisory group was put together. We weren't invited, we're very cross. We're battling that at the moment. The plan also is that we're going to go down the BPS route, wishy route, only register or regulate clinical education and counselling. Anyway, the plan is that will probably be in place by spring of 2025. Other thing is funding. Good news. We've managed to pressure the government to try and increase our funding. So up to now, counselling and education psychologists self-funded. We managed to get them all now funding going forward to tune of nearly 1.7 million per year, which is great. We've also got additional psychology posts, which is great, across all of those various professions to kind of, the demand of psychologists is quite high in the country at the moment, but you're happy with that. And we've also managed to get funding for a national psychology placement council. We're pleased about all those things. However, just recently, a freeze has been put on everything because we're going over budget as per usual at the end of the year. And finally, we had our own conference there.
From Norway, Hakon. From Poland, Beate? Not yet. From Spain, Manuel.
A bunch of people care greatly, that's the problem, but they all freeze. It's like, where do you find a way in? So we're hopeful really that the 7 points and the coalition work will be helpful. I think, Nicola, you're going to come in with a congress, weren't you? Or did you want to come in with